That point where you make up your mind is where your life changes. That's that point where you make up your mind is where your life changes. That's where failure changes to success. It is your decision, not your condition, that determines your destiny. I promise you, where you're getting your best results will always lean towards your unique ability. Ultimately, what you focus on will define your identity. It will move from, I can't do this, I don't have this, to I am not this. It doesn't take long for, I don't have money, to become, I am poor. What you focus on ultimately will shape your sense of identity, because what you believe is what you become.
Whenever Dr. Sam speaks, your mind is going to be blown. Nothing less than what he always delivers.
He still doesn't run out of inspiration. Every time you listen to him, you are still inspired.
He's been doing this over many years. It's like he doesn't age doing it.
Just by mere meeting him, he has shifted my capacity.
Energetic, engaging, and filled with a lot of revelation and information that can change your life and move us from where we are now to the next level. Dr. Sam Adeyemi is the real deal.
It is when we find ourselves in very difficult circumstances, impossible circumstances, that actually is when our best potentials are released. We're tougher than the tough times.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Shift Conference. Before I say anything, please can we put our hands together for Dr. Sam Adeyemi.
I was on a salary of 30,000 naira a month, and I asked myself, Gabriel, what else can you do to earn 30,000 naira a month? If I can sell one truck of diesel, I'll make 30,000 naira a month. When you have a strategy, you implement it.
You must be intentional about building strategic relationships. The power that you have is not absolute in the space, because you must control the space to work, to support you, to deliver value. Hard work is good. I didn't say don't work hard, but working smart is better. Working smart is about maximizing productivity using every resource that is available to you.
Your mindset is like a compass. If it's off just a little bit, it's going to take you a lot of time to reach your goal. See, money is a tool. And so what I realized is if a person can change their priorities around their money, they can change their outcome. If they can change their mindset around their money, they can change their money outcome. Our financial outcomes is a derivative of our money behaviors.
You cannot travel within and stand still without. When you see cannot, that's riding on a principle. If I could push the inside, the outside is designed to do everything possible to catch up with it.
It gives us great pleasure to unveil to you, reveal to the world for the first time, his latest book titled Shifts.
My experience was great.
This event was a fantastic event. It shifted me to the next level. Excellence, content was really powerful.
I enjoyed every minute of Shift. It was amazing, transformative. I particularly enjoyed Dr. Sam's session.
This was a world-class conference. I don't think I was really ready for the transformation that really happened in the room. All the speakers were so amazing.
My experience at the Shift conference was honestly mind-blowing. It's a blessing, honestly, to be here, and I'm really glad so I've been able to participate in this year's Shift conference.
Shift.
My experience was great.
It was amazing, transformative.
I was blown away by the speakers.
Excellence, content was really powerful.
This was a world-class conference. I will be here for Shift 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sam Adeyemi.
That point where you make up your mind is where your life changes. That's where a poor man becomes a rich man. That's where failure changes to success. It is your decision, not your condition, that determines your destiny.
Success is a journey, it's not a destination. The mistake too many people make is to say, I have arrived. No, you need to stay on entrepreneurial shift.
You have to have a huge desire for the thing that you really want. So if that means you have to spend 40, 60, 80 hours a week to get there, that's a burning desire. Who has a burning desire to build wealth today?
Sometimes you won't have all the answers. Neither do the men. 50% of our population cannot be sitting back. God bless you.
Get up, ladies. Get up, men. Get up, children. Get up and run with the light that you have.
In life, if you don't move, words without action is nothing. So when you told your neighbor shift, did you shift? In this book, you will find out that to make changes can be very uncomfortable, but when you start, it gets easier.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on this Leadership Live. If it's your first time ever, a very special welcome to you. Okay, so thank you for joining us from Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and X. Thank you. Good to see you again, my dear sister Janet from Indiana. Good to see you. All right, we'll dive in straight today, right? Yes, we need to move quickly today. Just in case it's your first time of joining us, we'd like you to know the city and country that you are joining us from. This is always a global event, We are a community of leaders from all over the world who believe that leadership makes a world of difference in our world. Yes, Dr. John Maxwell says everything rises and falls on leadership, right? And in the business world, they say the fish rots from the head. And I say where the head goes, that's where the rest of the body goes, right? Leadership matters. Leadership matters. One of our basic challenges is even the understanding of leadership itself. Most people sign out. Once they hear the word leader or leadership, they sign out because they don't believe that it has anything to do with them. It's always, when you don't really understand how leadership works, it's always a them versus us structure in one's mind. Even within an organization, it's like the management is them and us, the executives are them versus us. But in our community, we don't think so. Leadership has been redefined. It's not only about positions, right? It's not only a position that makes you a leader. Yes, the position automatically confers on you authority, to influence decisions and outcomes. But basic understanding of leadership now is that it is the ability to influence one or more people to achieve goals. Ability to influence, keep that in mind. Ability to influence. Keyword, influence. Now, every human being has the capacity to influence, because to influence is to alter the state of a person or thing or place. Is the ability to change the state. And if you want to know whether you have the power to do that or not, just smile at the next person you see, right? Smile at the next person you see, and you'll get an instant response. So, most people neglect their influence ability. Most don't develop their influence ability. But then at the end of the day, we complain and lament about the way our world is going. So, leadership is ability to influence. All of us have it, okay? All of us have the capacity to influence. All of us have the capacity to lead. That's what we believe in our community. And we are developing our leadership capacity fast, okay? All right, good to see you, Tahide, from Makurdi, Benue State, Nigeria. Oh, he says it's my first time. Special welcome to you, okay? Special welcome, special welcome. Good to see my friend Anne from Los Angeles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She says your book Shifts is an outstanding read. Bravo. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Temitope. Good to see you again, all the way from Wales in the UK. Good to see you. Faith is from Nigeria. Emmanuel is in Kogi State, Nigeria. That's my state, by the way. And Henry is joining us from Abuja, Nigeria. Excellence is joining us from South Africa. Lovely. Pretoria, South Africa. And it's your first time. Then it's a very special welcome to you today, okay? And we have Shegun too, says it's my first time. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Adeshola is in Lagos. Good to see you from Ikotun, Lagos. Pastor Team, good to see you from Chicago. Thank you for joining us again. Simpson joining us from Wales. Regular, good to see you. OC from Delta State in Nigeria. Amazing. Yes, Ifiok is also in Nigeria. Shego is in Ibadan, Nigeria. Fantastic. Timilahid is in Kent in the UK. Good to see you. Olufisaya, good to see you. And Planet Shakers, yes, a regular from Lokoja, Kogi State. And Charles from Enugu, good to see you. Miracle from Anambra, Nigeria, says it's your first time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Akinshola from Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining us. Omale says, I greet you, sir. I've been following you and I admire you. I've read a few of your books and you embody the kind of leadership principles you have. My first time watching from the UK. Thank you for joining us. Omale Zik, thank you for joining us. Ebube Chuku joined from Abuja. Oh, it's your first time. Special welcome, right? Bukui Sinilori, yes, like I mentioned the last time, they're taking care of you. I trust their hospitality. That's my city, right? Enjoy. Theophilos, thank you for joining us again, I believe, from Dubai. And Taiwo is in Lagos, and Global is in Akwa Ibom. Global Darabasi, right? Good. Atahiro is in Kogi State. Thank you for joining us. Eniola is in Lagos. Damilola in Niger State. Kola is joining us from Scotland. Fantastic. Sets in. Says, oh my days, the man, Dr. Sam Adeyemi, always dropping wisdom that hits deep. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Here to serve with God's gifts. Jeremiah joined us from Germany. Thank you. And Raphael from Benin City. Grace is in Edo State. Jeremiah says, it's my first time too, so you're especially welcome. And Eseni from Abia State. Oluwole says, it's my first time joining from Lagos. Thank you. Toulouse in Maryland, in the US. Michael, glad to finally join the live. Oh, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Ini is in Australia. Amazing. Amazing. That means it's early morning at your end. We really appreciate this. Thank you for joining us. Oh, yes. And I'm going to make a big announcement soon because I'll be in Australia in 2026, right? So watch out, right? Olariwaju Sunday joined us from Ibadan. Oluwayemi is in Washington State. Lovely. Thank you, Chibuzo from Humaya in Nigeria. Cecil joined us from Nairobi, Kenya. Olatunji from Toronto, Canada. Michael from Ghana. Amazing. Joshua from Asaba. Nathaniel from Delta State, Nigeria. Michael is in the way. Thank you. Dengue is joining us from New York. Thank you. And Uwems in Lagos. You say it's your first time, so it's a special welcome to you then. Michael says, I'm more particular about today's topic. Ego could indeed be a major enemy. Right. Samson Grace is a regular from Uyo. It's good to see you again. Alex from Jalingo, Nigeria. Timothy says, first time, so how can I get your book? If you're in Nigeria, then on Instagram, just look for at Family First Bookshop or at Roving Heights. At Roving Heights. Roving Heights has bookshops all over Nigeria, and they deliver all over Nigeria too. Outside of Nigeria, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target, major bookshops in most countries, I should say. Thank you. Sarah is in Nigeria. Amazing. Suleiman says, if you can talk on passing on the leadership baton to the next generation, Gen Z, the challenge, how to deal with it. Thank you. Well, when it's question time, please remind me here in the chat room. Thank you for joining us. Oba from Delta. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so many people have joined us now. So many. Oba from Delta State. Mike is in Jos. Fisaya in Lagos. Sheyi says the first time. Thank you for joining us. John in Ottawa. Yabami in Dallas. Emmanuel in Enugu. Chris in Lagos. Matthew in Lagos. David Abide. Good to see you, Pastor. Yes. Titus in Ogun State. Jukos from the Republic of Benin. Oh, thank you so much. I enjoyed my trip to your country some months back. Dr. Tokumbo Emmanuel, good to see you again. David from Lagos. Clement from Bayelsa. Good to see you. Uko from Lagos. Yes, Pastor David is in Port Harcourt. It's your first time, Oluwatobiloba from the UK. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. And Temitope from Lagos, Pastor Philip, Lagos. Yes. Thank you, my friend in Australia. It will be June. It will be June 2026, by the grace of God. Thank you, Kewe from Dubai. It says, you've been my mentor right from my university days till date. You're my role model. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. That's so kind. Good. Ola from Lagos. Good to see you. Joel from Niger. Gifts from Cyprus. Right. Good. Yes, Prevent says you're interested in today's topic, right? We'll jump into it in some 2 minutes. Moses in Owerri. Samson in Lorry. Good to see you, Pastor Joe Padaki. Stevie from Lagos. Oh, Timothy, it's at Rovin Heights. ROVIN HEIGHT. Right? The Rovin is ROVIN, and the height HEIGHTS, at Roving Heights on Instagram, and you just send them a message, right? Good to see you, Neko from Kogi State, my state. And Chibuike in Enugu, Adelu in Jos, Somto Chukwu in Anambra, Moses in Lagos, Chinelo, Stella in Enugu, Temi in London. Thank you for joining us. Peter is in Cameroon. Thank you, Peter. It's your first time. Fantastic. I hope it's absolutely worth your while. Christopher from Nigeria. It's your first time. Special welcome. Andrews from L'Aquila in Italy. It's not your first time. Thank you. Good to see you again. Olani, you're in Birmingham. Sunday in Adamawa. Yes, Kingsley in Houston, Texas. A lot of us in Lagos. David in Ghana. Abiye Nakure says it's my first time. Special welcome. If I in Enugu. LinkedIn user, is this event over? No, it's not over. We're just starting. We're just starting. It's a global event, and we like to specially welcome everyone joining us. Kenneth is in Accra, David in Lagos, Nicholas in London, Elo Chukwu in Enugu, Babatunde in Lagos, Simeon in Lekki. Joseph is joining us from Lusaka, Zambia. McHenry is in Edo State, Nigeria. Ifeanyi in Enugu, Tolulope in Lagos, Obi in Warri, Adeboye. Thank you, Tolulope. Good to see you. And Temitope in Lagos. All right. So, can we start the influence here? Can you share this? Share this, post, repost, right? Share this with someone. Bring someone into this conversation. It may be the greatest gift you're going to give them. We absolutely don't know where everyone is going to be over the next 5 years. And one of the greatest challenges with leadership right now is that most people are not prepared before they get the position. That's one of the biggest challenges we're having in our world. So this is a gift, right? Let's make this a gift to someone so you can actually just share this with a particular person, or just share it generally to everyone on your timeline. Okay? Thank you. All right. I'm trying to do it right. Yes, I don't like to tell people to do what I don't do, right? Okay. So, the last several weeks we've been discussing why leaders fail. We picked some of the important factors. Happy to see you, Pastor Felix. In Baltimore, good to see you. We have Emmanuel Nililori, Bola in Ogbomoso, Nigeria, Salako in Abeokuta, Thomas, Doctor in Australia, and it's your first time. Thank you so much for joining us. It's early morning at your end, and it's really amazing. And thank you, everyone. Besul in Enugu, Adibowale in Abuja, Noah in Lagos. Okay. LinkedIn user, it's your first time, right? All right. Thank you for joining us. Festus in Ibadan. When is Shift Conference or DLA coming to Abuja? Joshua is asking. Okay, I'll go ask my team, right? Yes, I know we'll get to you someday, right? Thank you, Mike from Lagos, and Dorcas in Ilori, and Ernest from Ghana. All right, we've discussed lack of vision. Big issue. You take vision out of the leadership equation, there's nothing left. So it's worth mentioning right now, especially for those joining us for the first time. And vision to us here is the ability to see people, places, and things, not just the way they are, but the way they could be. People, right? Starting from yourself. And then your family members, the people in your organization, people in your neighborhood, people in your country, the ability to see people, then places. Places, again, your house, your street, your community, your city, your nation, ability to see people, places, and then things, the things you use every day, right? Things, the food, things, ability to see people, places, and things, not just the way they are, but the way they could be. Now, with your physical eyes, you see them the way they are. It's only with your imagination, that you see the way places can be. That possibility, honestly, you are someone who learns to take time to reflect, to think deeply, and to capture, let me say, either come up with or capture pictures of how the world could be better, how your city could be better, how a product could be better, or a service could be better, your organization could be better. You're on the path to leadership, period. How your own life could be better, how you could become a better person. You're your path to leadership. If you dare say what you're seeing, say the possibilities, you'll be amazing. You'll be amazed, to see the fact that you become an inspirational figure. People want to gravitate towards you. There is enough negativity in our world. People need positive people. People need those who can see how things can get better. People begin to gravitate towards you. So it starts from there, right? So we said that lack of vision is a big problem. And there are many people occupying leadership positions who sadly don't have vision. We talked about self-awareness, the ability to come out of yourself, to look at your life, to assess your life, to know what's working, what's not working, right? To know your strengths, to know your weaknesses, right? We've also discussed about values, sound values, those principles and standards that that you have adopted personally to shape your decisions and your behavior. What is most important to you? Because everything doesn't weigh the same with everybody, right? You have education, you have financial independence, you have independence generally, you have recreation, you have family, you have love, you have relationships, you have fun, right? So you have so many things about life, and they don't all weigh the same. But the people that succeed in leadership, they have sound values. They center their lives on very powerful principles. And I'll tell you, in leadership, loving people, right? Caring for people genuinely, having empathy, having the capacity to feel for people, desiring the best for people, recognizing value in human beings. That's a huge one for anyone who's going to be a leader. Anyway, let's talk today about the ego, right? The ego. Harold S. Janine said, the worst disease which can afflict business executives in their work is not, as popularly supposed, alcoholism. It is egotism. Should I say that again? The worst disease which can afflict business executives in their work is not, as popularly supposed, alcoholism. It is egotism. Permit me, please, to say a special welcome to Obed, who joined us from Ghana, and Godwin in Abuja, and Damilare in Lagos. It's your first time, so thank you especially for joining us, and Naomi in Meduguri, and Ojo in Ilorin, Osun State, and Folare in Sydney, Australia. I hope you perhaps didn't hear me say earlier on, I'll be in Australia in June 2026, so please do watch out for the announcement. Now, Temitope says we are 4 here watching together. That's amazing. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, so our assumption here would be it's just one person in front of a gadget, right? 4 of you. Wow, that's a watch party. Thank you for that. Sunday in Abuja, and thank you for joining us. Gabriel in Lagos. Fantastic. All right. Thank you, Ifeanyi in Bagada. Wisdom in Benin, Olawale in Lagos, Rotimi in Atlanta, Stanley in Ogun State, Folayemi from Vancouver, Canada. If it's your first time, a very special welcome to you. We're discussing how to manage your ego. Now, the ego is a person's sense of self-esteem. Your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. So the ego is a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance, right? How important you think you are, what you think you are worth. The ego fuels our drive. This is very important, right? Because most of the time, when we feel that we deserve this, and we realize our reality is this, it's the ego that drives us to want to push up. Right? So the ego fuels our drive, our passion, our growth, even fuels our imagination, fuels our uniqueness, right? And fuels our creativity. So as you can see, the ego is a positive thing. We're not here to bash the ego, right? We need it. We need it for accomplishment. We need it to be successful. The only challenge is that the ego can create problems when it is misused or when it is overinflated. You know, they say too much of a good thing is bad. What I've observed as one who's been teaching people how to be successful for decades is that the structures built around success in our world right now fuel your ego. Have you observed? The higher you go, the more successful you become, the bigger everything becomes. You get the bigger title, bigger salary, bigger office. They tell you your car is too small for your status, so you need to get the bigger car, the bigger house, you know, move into the bigger house. And if you're not careful, you get the bigger head. That's why James Basford said it requires a great constitution to withstand repeated attacks of prosperity. Honestly, when I came across that quote years back, it just had this tremendous effect on me. Oh my God, I had never had the words attack and prosperity put in the same sentence before, right? So he says it requires a great constitution to withstand repeated attacks of prosperity. Let's talk about the wrong use of the ego, right? The wrong use of the ego. When we use the ego wrongly, we stand the risk of falling into the temptation of dangerous comparison. That's it. You are using the ego negatively if you are in the habit of comparing yourself with other people, right? It's very important. Very important. And from Manchester said, "I, Pastor Sam, my political mentor." Amazing. Okay, thank you. That's an interesting description there. All right, right. Yes, we're leading in every space. Okay. One other problem with ego wrongly applied is you're unable to make the trade-offs that are necessary for moving forward in life. Trade-offs, compromises, you know, that's something you will do constantly. You will have to reach compromise. You will have to negotiate, right? And you always need to go for win-win. They say a negotiation is successful when you have a win-win situation. The other person gets something, you also get something. But when you go for win-lose, you lose, right? And it's only the ego that puts one in that position where one then wants to get everything and leave nothing else for others, right? Okay, so that's a wrong use of the ego. Also, when you combine the ego with insecurity, right? Insecurity is the fear of not being enough. You know, when you are insecure, when you are afraid that other people are better than you, and by now you already know something is wrong once you begin to compare yourself with other people, because honestly, each person's worth is intrinsic. Each person's worth is intrinsic. So there's absolutely no basis for you comparing yourself with others, right? So once you combine insecurity with a big ego, you have a disaster going somewhere to happen there, right? Part of the problem with that is you find it difficult to say no to opportunities. And highly successful people, honestly, highly successful people say a lot of no's to opportunities. They say a lot of no's because they are clear about who they are, what they can do, and they only do what they excel at, right? Good to see you, Olasumbo in Ontario, Canada, and Kate Kachi in Port Harcourt, Kingsley in Calabar. Simon is in Frankfurt. Good to see you. Dr. Charles is in Chad, Republic of Chad. Wow, good to see you. Lydia in Nigeria, Toyi in Birmingham. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. You have to have if you have enough self-esteem, you've got to be able to say no, right? That's going to save you. The people that are highly successful don't say yes to everything. Okay, good. An unbridled ego makes our success toxic. This is what I mean. The more successful a person becomes whose ego is not tempered, not properly managed, the more narcissistic the person becomes, the bigger your self-worth entitlement is, right? And the likelihood is that the person develops control, excessive control of people. In fact, remember what I said, insecurity combined with an uncontrolled ego will make you paranoid. You'll be afraid. Any small move anybody makes will scare you. You'll be afraid to see your subordinates succeed, right? It will scare you. Other people's successes will make you feel like, will make you feel like a failure. Okay, so when we don't manage the ego, it's a big problem. That's what I'm trying to say. How do we manage the ego? With humility. We manage the ego with humility, having a correct estimation of yourself. Humility is not seeing yourself as being inferior to other people. Or, no. Inferiority complex and humility are not the same thing. It's just having a correct estimation of yourself, right? Success and humility go together very well. If you have not had good models of successful people, this may be confusing because a lot of successful people around us are arrogant, right? And we think that's what goes with success, especially leadership. I don't know where I got the idea from when I was very young, right? That when I got married and I had my children, the children would have to fear me. If I would play the picture in my head when I would arrive home from work. Sorry, if you're not in Africa, you may not understand this, right? Because in Atlanta, I never hear people pressing the horn or hooting the horn. In Nigeria, on the road, we hoot it regularly, but some people use it to create music. Anyway, so when I was growing up in Nigeria, I felt like when I would arrive home from work, I would press the horn of my car to send a message to all the people in the house that I had arrived. And my expectation was that the children would die for cover. Yeah. The king of the house had arrived. That's how some people behave in their offices. That's what I hear, right? That's the feedback I get from organizations. So success and humility go together very well. If you think otherwise, it means you've been deceived. Okay? Humility assumes an inherent sense of dignity for the person that has it. So by the time someone is humble, it means the person already has self-respect. The person already knows their worth, right? Because you can't give what you don't have. If you are ready to give dignity to other people, it means you have it already, for yourself. So humility actually makes the great greater. Humility makes you attractive to other people. Humility makes you attractive to other people. Pride, arrogance makes you offensive to other people. Who wants to hang around someone that makes them feel inferior regularly? Right? Which means that humility enhances your influence as a leader. Humility enhances your influence as a leader. Humility makes you vulnerable, right? Like I said, it's correct estimation of yourself. So again, another wrong notion that I had growing up was that people expected me as the leader to be perfect. What that tempted me to do was to be hypocritical, was to pretend, if I lie, right? When you are humble, you acknowledge your strengths. Remember, I said it's not denigrating yourself. So you acknowledge you have strengths. I know my gifts. I know my specialization, right? I know my area, but I also know my weaknesses. So when you are humble, then you are vulnerable, right? And you are open to feedback. Being open to feedback will save your life. How do I cultivate humility? Well, let's start from you admitting that you have a little bit of pride. Right now, if you have a problem with that, then there's a problem. Why? Because none of us is perfect, right? Yeah, so admit that you have a little bit of pride, and then choose models of humility. Look around. Don't make arrogant leaders your model. Make the humble ones your model, okay? Take time to imagine yourself in different scenarios and imagine how you would display humility, right? When you're dealing with subordinates, when you're dealing with your colleagues, when you're somewhere, maybe at the airport, and you have to deal with someone, maybe the cleaner who is cleaning the toilet and so on. Just play different scenarios like that and imagine how you're going to act humble in those scenarios so you're prepared. And that way you are reprogramming your brain. And please be open to asking for feedback. Ask for feedback from the people around you. Some of the things they will say will sting you. I should warn you, but they will help you, right? They will help you. Ask for feedback, okay? Ask for feedback. Feedback will help you, interestingly, to become more familiar with your strengths, and feedback will help you to be more familiar also with your weaknesses, and then you see the areas to improve on, right? Remember, not managing the ego well has tripped up a lot of leaders in our world. I warn people in organizations, hierarchical order in the organization is not necessarily destiny order. The fact that you have a higher level in terms of status or position within an organization than somebody else does not mean that you are a better human being than they are. Honestly, I see my supervision on anyone on my team as an opportunity to invest in destiny, because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you have absolutely no idea where each person could be. So if you treat people with pride, someday you just don't know. You just don't know where they're going to be. So it's always good to treat people with respect, okay? Treating people with respect makes people feel good, makes them feel important, enhances their dignity. Now that's what a leader is supposed to do. Making people feel inferior, honestly, does not make you a fantastic leader. Good. So let's go practice some of these things. Now, I'm going to take some questions in the chat room, but just before that, right? Just before that, this will be the last Leadership Live for 2025, right? When we resume in 2026, it's going to be restructured, right? But we'll let you know how it works when we meet in January, right? So we'll meet in January, but we'll let you know how it will go. In the new year, I am devoting my energy and time and strength to making leadership investments that would transform not just organizations, but nations, okay? And the way I've decided to go about it is I've been working really hard with my team to curate a private elite group of founders, CEOs, C-suite leaders, senior pastors who want to multiply their impact, their wealth, their legacy, and their legacy across Africa and across the globe, right? So these are generally people who are successful already, but success is not the ultimate in this life. I can tell you that. I've been teaching success for decades, right? I've done it on radio, TV, conferences, books, everything. And I can tell you there is something higher than success. There is something higher than success. When you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the lowest level, you need food, and at the second level, you need safety and security. At the third level, the needs change. No more material needs. The need for love, right, and belonging. That's why we all like to belong to groups and communities. And then level 4 is the need for esteem, respect, right? And you get that by being successful, right? But then level 5 is self-actualization, where you find the meaning for your life. So I've worked with a lot of leaders who are successful already and who are now trying to find meaning, find purpose for the success. When you've not had a lot of money before, a lot of material things, which is where most of us that come from the developing part of the world find ourselves Latin America, Africa, Asia, because when we experience so much deprivation growing up, we feel that getting material things is the highest aspiration of our lives. You could just get those houses and some money and that will be fine. And then you ask successful people and you find out they still want something more even after they have the money, right? It's self-actualization. It's the sense of meaning. It's purpose, right? And when you find it, you have what you call fulfillment. Money can't buy it. Fulfillment. There's that knowing on the inside of you that your life is valuable. It's worth the while. So for these people, we want to move from success to what I call significance, to impact, right? So we're calling the group the Sam Adeyemi Mastermind. The Sam Adeyemi Mastermind. It's going to be a 10-month program from February 2026 to November 2026. I made this announcement already, and it's amazing so far that we've had about 500 people apply. We have criteria because it's highly curated. You have to apply. If you make it through the application, then you do an interview. I think we've admitted 20 plus people now to the program. And the maximum number we're going is 100 maximum. So we're putting them in cohorts of 20 each, only 5 cohorts, and that's all. Everyone will be on a platform on circle.so. We've created it already. We put them in a community there 24/7. They have access to one another. You have a question, you can ask, because one of the major things they're going to get from this group is peer brilliance. The insight, the likelihood is somebody who's already done what you're trying to do. They'll give you the information for free. Everyone is going to scale. Whatever people invest into being a part of this group, there's no doubt in the fact that they will make 5 to 10 times back. Some people are going to make 100 times, some are going to make 1,000 times back. It's huge, right? The networking value is explosive. There'll be practically nobody you want to reach in this world that you won't be able to reach through the people in the group, right? Every month for 90 minutes, each cohort will meet to discuss. If anyone has a challenge, they crack together, they do strategy together, explore what's going on in the world. We're having a resource library for them. Okay, there's a resource library. Some people are asking, right, for the link. Okay, we're putting it in the chat room now. mastermind.samadeyemi.com. mastermind.samadeyemi.com, and you can apply. So we're having a resource library where I'm going to be posting articles, frameworks that I've created for dealing with various issues in running your organization, CEO tools and templates. Now, I'll tell you one sweet dimension to it. Some of you who've been following us know that we've been running annual C-suite retreats, right? In beautiful locations, in beautiful countries. Last year we were in Marrakech, Morocco. This year we were in Dubai. And some of you may have seen the picture of us on a yacht, right? Anyway, we're having 2 of that for the people in the mastermind. We won't have any other C-suite retreats in 2026. Only those 2, only 2 retreats for the people in the mastermind. Well, it will be any two cities out of Casablanca, Morocco, Dubai, and Cancun in Mexico, right? At those retreats, we'll bring in experts, right? We're bringing in expert mentors who would come to take us on some basic lessons on wealth management, on wellness, on AI, right? Integrating AI into our work and so many other important areas, right? Good. Now, the first set of members, right, in 2026 will be our foundation members, right? Our founding members. That means a lot to us. That means a lot to us. So after that first set, anybody else is going to join, and we will only join when there are spaces, right? If someone decides to step out, then we can admit new people in, but you would have to be referred by one of the people who are in already. Okay? Okay. So thank you. Yes, mastermind.samadeyemi.com. Mastermind.samadeyemi.com. Apply. If you make it through that stage, then the page will take you automatically to where you pick a date for a discussion with us. Listen, this thing is not for everyone. No. We need to be sure there is alignment in terms of our values. If somebody is looking for a quick way to make money, if somebody doesn't mind how they make money, whether it's right or not, this program is not for them at all. Okay? If somebody does not value having a good name, right, this program is not for them at all. So it's an opportunity for you to ask us questions, and then for us to also ask you questions and to see whether we're going in the same direction, right? There's got to be alignment in the vision and the values. And then, yes, so that's why we're admitting people slowly, okay, one at a time, slowly. The dynamics within the group is so important. We need collaboration. We need people who value collaboration, right? And we need people who value humility, right? People who are open to learning, because the velocity in the group is going to be explosive. Like I said, we're gunning for the transformation of nations. Anyway, apart from that, so we say that at the Sam Adeyemi Mastermind, we're focusing on scaling impact and influence without you losing your soul. Okay? I should also mention that on the 21st of February, 2026, we're having the next edition of the Shift Conference Lagos. Now, because of the mastermind, we are suspending almost everything else that we're doing. Almost everything else. We're not suspending the leadership life completely, but we're restructuring it, like I said, and we'll let you know in January the shape it will take. So we are not likely to run other programs in 2026, except the mastermind program and the Shift Conference Lagos. So only one Shift Conference in 2026. So you should do everything possible to attend, okay? Shift-conference.com, shift-conference.com. If you are a part of the mastermind, then we're giving you complimentary access to the Shift Conference. Don't forget that the Shift Conference has the general session, right? And it has the VIP session that holds in the afternoon, where you have direct interaction with the speakers at the conference. You have access to, if you're part of the mastermind, you have access, complimentary access fully to all of that. Let me also say that in 2025, at the Shift Conference Lagos 2025, we had quite a number of organizations that were sponsors that made it possible for us to organize the conference with excellence. This year, we are expanding the space, taking in more people. We're also offering 500 scholarships to 500 people from, that's 500 students and teachers from 50 schools, 50 high schools, right? 500. And it is the sponsorship that makes that possible. So I'm inviting you to partner with us to take this leadership message, to our world, so we can make our organizations and families and countries better. Is that okay? If you want to know more about that, please send me an email. If you want to know about the sponsorship, how can I be a part of the sponsorship? send me an email. You'll be amazed. There was an organization that owns 4 radio stations that last year we were able to strike a deal, and they became one of the sponsors for our conference. So we may be able to work something out. Okay, good. Thank you for making it possible. We have this big vision, right? The quality of leadership has to go up in all spheres, at all levels, right? Families, organizations, communities, and nations. Thank you for helping to make it happen. Okay. So, don't forget, if you want to find out about the mastermind, it's mastermind.samadeyemi.com. Mastermind.samadeyemi.com. Okay, any question for me in the chat room? Oh, now this is a testimonial from Eniola Success, and I appreciate it. It says, it's been such a privilege to be a part of this. Thank you so much for loading us with value. So there's been a significant shift in my leadership style since I started joining these sessions. Wow. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Emmanuel is asking an important question here. In the event your humility is considered as weakness and is taken advantage of, what do you do? Or how do you respond? That's fantastic, right? So when people that are not managing their own ego see you acting with humility, they mistake it for weakness because it is not. What do? You draw boundaries. It's just like when we discuss love. And I say love is a big word. In the leadership space, it's a big word. In fact, that if you occupy a leadership position and you realize you don't love people, in other words, you don't see people through God's eyes, you don't see that the human being is the most valuable asset on this planet, right? And give them the best quality of service with excellence. If you can't do that, I tell people, just leave that. Go on sabbatical, take a break, right? Go look for the capacity for love and come back, because the likelihood that you will struggle is very high. People then ask me, okay, so, but if I love people, won't they take advantage of that? And I say, do you really understand what love is? If your child is going to put his or her finger in the fire and you push the hand away, so what do you call that? Is that not love? So I say, loving someone doesn't mean that you become weak, right? You have no boundaries. They have no limits around your life. No, that's not what we're suggesting. Actually, true love has boundaries. So it's the same thing with this humility thing, right? Humility does not stop you from saying the truth. Remember, we said humility is having a correct estimation of yourself. So if someone calls you something less than who you really are, you correct them, right? Well, I'm sorry, I think you may be getting it wrong here. This is who I am, right? Good. So please, when you're humble, and I totally understand what you're saying. People think you don't know who you are, or you don't know your value, or you don't know your worth. It's still within your right to draw boundaries for people, okay? If someone is hurting you, say so. If someone is saying things that are hurtful to you, correct them, right? Humility is having a correct estimation of yourself, not seeing yourself as inferior to people. Boundaries, that's the key word, okay? And if somebody is not going to get it, create distance between you and them, okay? Good. Well, Adeyemi is asking, how can I succeed in my music ministry? I am loose now. Well, I'm not in the music ministry, but I can tell you generally how to succeed in anything. People need to know that you exist, and they need to know the skills that you have, right? Who needs to engage your services? Who's your ideal customer? What do they read? What media do they consume? Go and position there, right? And let them see you. This is important. People can't interact with someone that they can't see. I always quote this from the advertisers. People in the advertising industry, they say the man that refuses to advertise is like a man that winks at a girl in the dark. He knows what he is doing, but she doesn't. So she cannot fall in love, right? Yes, you need to be visible, right? You're on social media. How do people know how good you are? Record yourself playing and post it. Right? Record yourself playing and post it. And if you feel like there's someone who needs to see it, tag them. Right? Good. Oh, okay. Moses says, you'll usually speak on strategic planning for the next year. I found them very interesting as they provide us with the best roadmap, guidelines, and prepare us for a better year ahead. Okay, in January, early January, we'll get to discuss, do some scanning, right? What should we should expect in our different environments. Oh, thank you. Adebayo Oluwafemi says, it's always a great time here every week. Thank you. Can't thank you enough. Thank you too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Tunji, I hope you've seen the link. mastermind.samadeyemi.com. Thank you. 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 All right. Thank you for joining us. Promise. Okay, let me see if I have. Yes, Kolawole is asking a very important question. Would online tickets be available for Shift Conference Lagos 2026? Yes, please. Keep checking on the website because we're expecting thousands of people to join us from all over the world. Yes, the Shift Conference Lagos is going to be available for people to join us from all over the world, right? Oh, okay. Pastor Tim is asking, need prayer and guidance on how to read the books all the way through. I read, stop, and go to the next. Can everyone pray for me? So, Pastor Tim, I would say, yes, of course, we'll pray. We'll pray. On the other side, I'm thinking of the strategies. Because we have different learning styles, right? We all have different learning styles. Some of us do very well with text. I do well with reading text. Some people do better with audio. Some do better with video. So it's better that most of your reading flows with your wiring. So some people now, even reading the Bible, it's audio that they do most of the time. Some people, practically every book is now audio. So you may want to check that out to be sure that you're working in line with your design, so it's not too much of a struggle. Secondly, some of us also read 3 or 4 books at a time because we're reading to apply, not just to, not to score some goal, but we're actually looking for what to apply to our lives. So sometimes sometimes you just go, some people pick a book and they don't start from chapter 1, they just go straight to the chapter, right? That applies to them, and then they put it down, go somewhere else, and so on. Anyway, we pray with you for wisdom and the grace to be able to make it through the books that you read, right? Good. Okay, another question from Enela Success. How have you retained valuable relationships over the years? I've struggled to keep some valuable relationships. Our values align, but I've been trying to go beyond the random checkups. Okay, so you will have to accept something though. Relationships require a lot of investments, and you just don't have the capacity to maintain intimate relationships with a lot of people. So when it comes to relationships, that's what we call the concentric circles, right? So you have the inner circle, and usually maybe 3 people, right? Are you really, really intimate, really close, or 4 or 5? They just say there's a limit to how many people you can, maintain close relationships with like that you'll be checking up on everyone almost every day or every other day. So you have people in that inner circle, then there's the outer one where you have more people, and then you have acquaintances, a lot of them. Yeah. So I've been able to maintain a lot of relationships because I have a lot of acquaintances, and there are some, it won't be a problem if we are not in contact for some months, and we're still good with each other, right? And then you have the more intimate ones. I'm married to my wife. That's the closest person to me. But then I have my family too. I have kids, I have children. They're not kids anymore. They're young adults now, and so on. So if you spread them out like that, I think you'll find it easier. You really, really can be very, very intimate and tight with everybody like that. Oh, thank you, Esther. She says it's amazing listening to Dr. Sam Adeyemi, great leadership coach par excellence. Oh, wow. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you. Okay. We're almost there. Good. Amale is asking, there seems to be a thin line between ego and pride. How can I manage these two to be an outstanding leader? This is a very good question. This is a very good question, right? Because what I found out in my journey of success and my being a teacher of success is that success requires a balance. Always requires a balance, right? And that balance is middle line. Can you imagine yourself? Have you seen people who walk a line like that, between 2 rocks or 2 buildings, and sometimes they have to hold a pole, right? That's it. It's not easy. They have to keep adjusting. Honestly, that's how it is sometimes. So it's like a spectrum. Let's say it's 1 to 10, and the right spot is on 5. So you can go off on this deep end of low self-esteem and inferiority complex, and you can also go off on this other extreme with superiority complex, and you want to find the middle. And that's why we said you should be asking a lot for feedback. You should spend a lot of time in reflection. Self-awareness is the leader's superpower. Self-awareness is the leader's superpower. So you always have to be reflecting on the standards that you've set for yourself, on the goals that you set for yourself, and you need to be asking people, the people closest to you, for your feedback. Are you becoming irritated by things you would have had before and that you would have taken easily? Are you now becoming irritated and angry, right? Is something shifting somewhere, right? So you need to maintain that confidence. You need to maintain your sense of dignity and worth, right? But you can't afford to get into the point where you're comparing yourself with people and beginning to feel superior to them. That's pride. Okay, Dave is asking, how do I book a virtual one-on-one with you from the UK? Please send me an email, info@samadeyemiglc.com, info@samadeyemiglc.com, and we'll work something out. Good. Oluwayemi says, thank you, sir, for that response, because at my office I had a colleague and apply to another position within the office, and he refuses to relate with me like we did before. With this explanation, I got my new approach in relating with my peer going forward. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Gloria, thank you. Kayode says, you have influenced so many lives, including mine. You remain a major mentor to many in this generation. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Pastor Tim, you're welcome. Thank you. Emmanuel is asking, thank you so much, sir. How do you balance the desire to be a blessing by impacting others and spending time in being a blessing without compromising on your own growth demands? A leader always has to be prioritizing, right? You have to manage your time. You have to allocate your time. You can't allocate all the time to only one item, right? I just want you to know, though, that investing in other people fuels your own growth. Like, once I got into that space where I had to speak every week, and I literally have to speak every week. So I make notes, right? Almost every day. I'm working on some note or the others. I have to feed that fast. I have to feed. So I read, research, go online. I've got to read. So you find it's one of the fastest ways to get yourself to grow. Assume responsibility for feeding other people. But you'll find out, if you spend all the time feeding other people and you don't feed, it's like a mother, right? The mother of a newborn child who has to be giving milk and be feeding a child and she doesn't eat. Something's going to go wrong, isn't it? Yeah, and you know when you are getting there, when you have to say something, but you've not had time to think, you've not had time to prepare. I had challenges like that before. So you need to manage your time well, protect your time well. Again, boundaries, right? Please remind yourself, you can't solve the problem of the whole world, right? You need to feed yourself, then you have something to give to others. Good. All right. One more, and we'll be done for the day. Okay, so David is also asking the question. I love reading books so much, but most times I don't end up finishing one before I go another. But I would have gotten the real deal needed. Is that a good reading skill? Let me suggest this to you. There's something called speed reading, right? There's something called speed reading. So you read different books for different purposes. There are some books, for me, they are reference books. In other words, when I pick the book, I know I'm going to get things from this book that I'm going to apply, right? So the first thing I do is I skim, right? The human brain is amazing. If you have 10 words in a sentence and you remove 5 of the words, the human brain will complete the sentence still. So in other words, you don't need to read each word before your brain recognizes what is in the sentence. So if you move your eye quickly, you'll be amazed. Your brain would pick up the full meaning of each sentence as you're going. So sometimes I take a book and I read through to the end, then I come back, right? And then I read slowly. And that's when I'm writing down the action steps, right? And I'm going to take from the book, okay? So I'll suggest that. So some books, you don't need to do that. Just skim through fast, right? And mark. As I go, something strikes you, you mark it. With that, you'll be able to finish books. But more. But remember what I said. I'm usually reading 3 or 4 books at a time, okay? To meet various needs. So don't be too hard on yourself, right? I want to go. So many questions. So many. But let me take this last one because it's interesting. Festus is asking, how are you able to build up yourself to this level of wisdom as a leader and pastor? Also, how can someone be truly mentored or what are the ways to be master? And that's a whole seminar, right? If you keep eating, right? If you keep feeding every day, you ask me, how did I grow to be this tall? How did I grow to be this size? I've been growing now for almost 60 years. I've been eating almost every day. I've been eating and drinking. That's how it is. It's more of the consistency, right? But I'll tell you, what determines what you feed on is your vision. What determines what you feed on is your vision. In fact, what determines how you feed is that vision. You may have heard me share this story before, how many years ago, and that would be like 30, maybe 34, 33 years ago, about 33 years ago, someone took me to his house in Lagos, Nigeria. He said, look, I just saw someone. I just saw a preacher, right? A teacher come to my house. I saw him on video. I want you to watch the video. It turned out to be the video of Dr. Miles Monroe, the amazing author, teacher, consultant, leader from the Bahamas. It was the first time ever I would watch him speak. And if you ever listened to him before, it's absolutely profound in his insights. It was like, what? I had never heard anyone speak like that before. But as I was listening to him, I was developing a vision. I was saying to myself, this man was not born this way. He became this way. If he became this way, then I can become this way. I can share profound insights with people. I told myself, I'll never read my Bible the way I was reading it before. Again, I'll not read books the way I was reading them before. I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to look for real insights. I'm going to go for real understanding of how things work, right? So, again, that couldn't happen in one day, but it means that from that point onwards, anywhere I saw anything that had to do with him, video, if it was a book, I bought it, and so on. I did the same with Dr. David Defoe. I did the same with John Maxwell, Rick Warren, and so on, right? So, yes, I've been feeding. That's the point. And I've been feeding myself high-level stuff, high-quality stuff. I don't joke with Google, right? I get a lot from Google. And now that there's AI, come on. I leverage AI to get powerful insights now. I hope that helps. Anyway, has this been helpful? Everyone, has this been helpful? Please remember mastermind.samadeyemi.com. Mastermind.samadeyemi.com. It will be one of the best investments that you've made if you can find yourself into this group. One of the people we have who signed up already is CFO of a financial institution that works in 34 countries. Okay, so just being in the same room with that kind of a person can be life-changing. One of our existing clients that I'm expecting in the group is someone who, in fact, several of our existing clients that are going to be in the group are people who can pick a phone and call a governor or call a president at short notice. It's amazing. If you can make it in, it will be one of the best investments that you have made. Mastermind.samadeyemi.com. Apply and let's see how it works. Thank you, everyone. From all of us here at Sam Adeyemi GLC, Success Power, and all of our organizations, and from all of our team members, it's been an amazing year together. We wish you a Merry Christmas, you and your family, and an exciting and a happy new year ahead. If this has been helpful, can you help me to type a Y for yes, letter Y, in the chat room? If I get 5, then I will have a feeling that hanging out together today was worthwhile. Oh, I got 1 already. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my God, so many. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I wish you a restful night, if it's night at your end, or a beautiful evening, or a beautiful morning, or an amazing day. Again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye, everyone. Love from all of us here. Hey, founder, CEO, if your organization does an annual turnover of $1 million or more, or ₦1 billion or more, you know the truth already. You have outgrown the hustle. You've proven that your idea works. You've built something that is real. But now the game has changed. Growth for you right now is about evolution. The evolution of you, the visionary you, the strategist you, the you that your organization or your nation needs. That is why I created the Sam Adeyemi Mastermind, a 10-month experience for visionary founders and CEOs like yourself that are committed to growing with clarity, with confidence, and with purpose. Inside this mastermind, you will connect with a small group of visionary founders and CEOs like yourself that are committed to leading with growth, with truth, and for legacy. The next evolution of your business and of your leadership starts now. Apply and let's build it together.